A few years ago, with my colleague Emmanuel Charpentier, I invented a new technology for editing genomes. It's called CRISPR-Cas9. The CRISPR technology allows scientists to make changes to the DNA in cells that could allow us to cure genetic disease. You might be interested to know that the CRISPR technology came about through a basic research project that was aimed at discovering how bacteria fight viral infections. Bacteria have to deal with viruses in their environment, and we can think about a viral infection like a ticking time bomb. A bacterium has only a few minutes to defuse the bomb before it gets destroyed. So many bacteria have in their cells an adaptive immune system called CRISPR that allows them to detect viral DNA and destroy it. Part of the CRISPR system is a protein called Cas9 that's able to seek out and cut and eventually degrade viral DNA in a specific way. And it was through our research to understand the activity of this protein Cas9 that we realized that we could harness its function as a genetic engineering technology, a way for scientists to delete or insert specific bits of DNA into cells with incredible precision that would offer opportunities to do things that really haven't been possible in the past. The CRISPR technology has already been used to change the DNA in the cells of mice and monkeys, other organisms as well. Chinese scientists showed recently that they could even use the CRISPR technology to change genes in human embryos. And scientists in Philadelphia showed they could use CRISPR to remove the DNA of an integrated HIV virus from infected human cells. The opportunity to do this kind of genome editing also raises various ethical issues that we have to consider, because this technology can be employed not only in adult cells, but also in the embryos of organisms, including our own species. And so together with my colleagues, I've called for a global conversation about the technology that I co-invented so that we can consider all of the ethical and societal implications of a technology like this.
This is Dan Dicks here, reporting for Press for Truth, and the video that you just watched comes from a TED Talk that was given 10 years ago, titled, How CRISPR Lets Us Edit Our DNA. And in this video, the co-inventor of this groundbreaking new technology talks about so-called designer babies, as I'll show you later in this video. And then later they followed it up with this one, CRISPR's next advance is bigger than you think, where they discuss how this technology can be used to solve problems like climate change, if you can believe that. I put out a video talking about that back when that came out, altering DNA to fight climate change with precision microbiome editing. What could go wrong? Where in this video, I also got into where this technology may be heading to in the very near future if left unchecked. And ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at that very scary future that has been left unchecked. And here we are. Mice with two dads have just been created using CRISPR. It's a new way to create bipaternal mice that can survive to adulthood, but human applications are still a long way off. So if you guys think it's bad enough and criminal that people with mental disorders are already currently allowed to adopt babies and rob them of having a mother, just wait until they genetically alter the genome sequence so that men can have babies with other men. This is absolutely mind-boggling that we're even talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to discuss this and much, much more in this video today. But really quickly, guys, before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, guys. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can do Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies by clicking there. You can click here or here to sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution. You can also send an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for all of this is located in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who does take 1 minute today to support my efforts financially here at Press for Truth. All right, let's start with this, guys. This is, again, an almost 10-year-old video now of the co-inventor of this technology, CRISPR, talking about how they can use it to create designer babies. Just listen to this.
The CRISPR technology can be used for things like enhancement. Imagine that we could try to engineer humans that have enhanced properties, such as stronger bones or less susceptibility to cardiovascular disease.
Or came from two dads.
Or even to have properties that we would consider maybe to be desirable, like a different eye color or to be taller, things like that. Designer humans, if you will.
Designer humans.
Right now, the genetic information to understand what types of genes would give rise to these traits are mostly not known. But it's important to know that the CRISPR technology gives us a tool to make such changes once that knowledge becomes available. This raises a number of ethical questions that we have to carefully consider. And this is why I and my colleagues have called for a global pause in any clinical application of the CRISPR technology in human embryos to give us time to really consider all of the various implications of doing so. And actually, there's an important precedent for such a pause from the 1970s when scientists got together to call for a moratorium on the use of molecular cloning until the safety of that technology could be tested
been a long
carefully
time coming, guys.
Validated.
And here we are.
Genome engineered humans are not with us yet, but this is no longer science fiction.
There you have it, guys. Genome sequenced babies, designer humans. She said it herself. We're not there yet, but clearly it's coming. This is something that they have in store for humanity. And fast forward to today, what are they using CRISPR for? To create mice who have two dads. Humans are off limits for now, the article says, but the work does help us to better understand a strange biological phenomenon known as imprinting, which causes certain genes to be expressed differently depending on which parent they came from. For these genes, animals inherit part of a dose from each parent, and the two must work in harmony to create a healthy embryo. Without both doses, gene expression can go awry and result in embryos that end up with abnormalities. I mean, isn't it interesting that they openly admit that, yeah, a dose from each parent is what gives you harmony and a healthy embryo. And the moment they start messing with these doses and this gene expression, things can go awry and result in, abnormalities. This is what researchers have found in previous attempts to create mice with two dads. But if you're not questioning why they have to spend money on giving science research capabilities of trying to create mice with two dads, I mean, if you don't know why, guys, I think it's pretty blatantly obvious, with what's been happening today with the destruction of the family unit. I mean, this is something that's been happening in Canada for a long time. You look at this from just last year, how to kill the family unit. Justin Trudeau is trying to provide free contraception and morning after pills. He wants abortion pills and contraception to be free for all Canadians, despite the fact that Canada's birth rate is falling right now, way below the replacement level of just 1.3 children per woman. In this video, I point out that nothing in life is free and how Canada has turned into a death cult under Justin Trudeau. And interestingly enough, the same people who want to destroy the family unit and claim that the world is overpopulated are the same people who are essentially trying to, bring abnormality life back, into the world through the creation of like babies through two dads. It's absolutely crazy. And this article does go on to discuss some of the ethical implications of what it might entail if this should ever, make its way into human, DNA sequencing. They say it would be unethical to do such risky research with human cells and embryos. Editing 20 imprinted genes in humans would not be acceptable, and producing individuals who could not be healthy or viable is simply just not an option. there are numerous issues. For a start, a lot of technical lab procedures that the team used have not been established for human cells. But even if we had those, this approach would be dangerous. Knocking out human genes could have untold health consequences. However, there's lots of hurdles, they say, and human applications is still quite far. So this is something they are pursuing. They will get over the hurdles. They will eventually get there. Despite that, the work might shed a little more light on the mysterious phenomenon of imprinting. Previous research has shown that mice with two moms appear smaller and live longer than expected, while the current study shows that mice with two dads are overgrown and die more quickly. Perhaps paternal imprinted genes support growth and maternal ones limit it, and animals need both to reach a healthy size. Go frickin' figure that animals are going to need both, genes coming equally from the mother and the father to have a healthy embryo. This is like just a slap in the face to God, our creator. And again, it just goes to show, where this stuff can lead to when it is left unchecked. And the lady said we need like 10 years to let the, to just figure out, the ethics behind all this. Well, again, guys, this video is from 10 years ago, this one here. And here we are now with the news that they're creating mice with two dads. Unbelievable stuff, guys. But again, just goes to show you how far things are getting in the war against the family unit. Again, something that they've been working on a lot in this country. And, it's like, it's not enough to destroy everybody by physically castrating them and chemically castrating them and poisoning them with the food and making them sterile. Well, now they want to play on humans' sexual desires to say, no, you can continue in that form of debauchery, and don't worry, you'll be able to have kids even if you are a couple of men, and you won't even have to adopt anymore. They can be biologically yours. Absolutely insane, guys. So just wanted to bring this update to your attention. Once again, guys, if you do appreciate my efforts to do so, don't forget to check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate. You can check that top link in the description below of whatever video platform you happen to be watching this video on right now, whether that be Rumble or BitChute or Band or Odyssey or Minds. Or even if you're watching this on YouTube, check that top link in the description below. And that's all for today, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please click the thumbs up button. Stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.